Welcome everybody to what might be the most famous sidewalk on earth, and also one that every local you'll talk to avoids at all costs. They'll tell you it's crowded, overhyped, dirty, and probably looks better on social media. But recently the internet hasn't been so subtle about it, calling it the worst tourist attraction on earth, which feels kind of extreme considering the competition. So I've come here today to walk it, every star, every block, end to end. So you don't have to see if it really is the worst tourist attraction in the world.
It's a place of dreams, hopes, and riches, and its streets are filled with the studios, homes, and landmarks that are monuments to its greatness. Let's go Hollywood backstage and see this unique and fascinating place called Hollywood.
So we're starting our journey on the eastern side of the Hollywood Walk of Fame on Gower Street, and we're gonna walk the entire length of the way of the Hollywood Walk of Fame to Brea, which is at the end on the western side. It's roughly 15 blocks and 1.3 miles. Now as of 2025, there's roughly 2,827 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. We're not gonna see all of them because there's stars on either side of the road and some on streets that go adjacent to Hollywood Boulevard on Vine Street, but we're gonna try to see as many as we can. So let's go. Now, Hollywood didn't become famous by accident. It wasn't destiny, it was logistics. In the early 1900s, this area had cheap land, good weather, and was far enough away from the East Coast gatekeepers trying to keep a tight grip on the film industry. So the studios came west, and when the studios came, the money followed. And once the money arrived, the myth wasn't far behind. That's how Hollywood was born, not as a dream, but as a workaround. But here's the part that most people miss. The Walk of Fame didn't rise out of Hollywood's golden age. It showed up after the party was already winding down. By the 1950s, the studios were drifting away, television was changing the game, and this neighborhood was starting to feel like yesterday's news. The Walk of Fame wasn't built to celebrate success. It was built to remind people that this place still mattered. From the very beginning, this sidewalk wasn't about honoring celebrities. It was about saving a neighborhood that could feel the spotlight moving on. Now this intersection, Hollywood and Vine, used to be one of the most important places in old Hollywood between the 1920s and 1940s. This was really a hot spot for a lot of clubs, studios, radio stations, just pretty much like an entertainment hub. And after around the 1940s, a lot of those places relocated to studios and other places. So Hollywood and Vine saw a significant decline in its importance. It went from essentially being like the epicenter of Hollywood and the film industry to being a shell of what it formerly was. Bottom line, if you wanted to see old Hollywood or experience old Hollywood in the 1930s, behind me, Hollywood and Vine was pretty much the spot to be. I gotta admit, there's a lot of names I haven't heard of before. Tennessee Ernie Ford. It's a cool name. Never heard of the guy though. I'm sure he was great. Now, right here between the stars and souvenir shops, one thing you'll notice is the Scientology building, which has been here for years. Hollywood and Scientology are very closely linked, and right here on Hollywood Boulevard is one of the flagship Scientology buildings. Let's try to go inside and check it out.
So if you don't mind, the first thing
Sure.
you can just sanitize your hands here.
Okay.
And we don't allow filming inside if that's okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Bye.
Bye. See you. Well, that was an experience. It actually really was not what I expected. It's mostly a museum to L. Ron Hubbard, and they have lots of artifacts from his life in there. It talks about a lot of his writings and his travels, and they have a bunch of his books and awards, and there's several videos. I mean, if it's all true, he's lived quite a life. Apparently he spoke 5 languages, which I did not know. I did try to take some video in there, but as I guessed, they said that video wasn't allowed, photos weren't allowed, but I was able to get one photo towards the end. There's kind of like this grand finale thing, and they bring you to this area where there's this golden curtain, and the golden curtain opens up, and this very heroic sounding music is playing. And on this wall is a bunch of awards that L. Ron Hubbard has won over the years. It's pretty tall. I mean, it's like probably like 20 feet high. And then another wall opens up, and it's like one of those Russian dolls where it's like one wall opens up, another wall opens up, all filled up from top to bottom with awards that L. Ron Hubbard got during his life. And then at the end, there's like this plaque of him, and his voice comes over the speakers and he says a quote. He was very prolific in his life, so I will give him credit for that. I mean, there was some Guinness Book of World Records stat in there where he wrote something like 1,084 published books in his name, so. But we're going to continue on and explore the Hollywood Walk of Fame because that's why we're really here, and see what else we can find. Most people also don't realize how a star actually ends up on this sidewalk. You don't automatically get one for being famous. Someone has to nominate you and you have to agree to it. And then there's a serious amount of money involved, tens of thousands of dollars to install and maintain the thing. Most of the time that money doesn't even come from the celebrity. It comes from studios, record labels, networks, or fan groups, which means this isn't just an honor given to you, it's a public appearance. A marketing event dressed up as immortality. That's why some massive stars never made it onto the sidewalk, and why some names you barely recognize are permanently stamped into it. One of the strangest things about this place isn't who's here, it's who isn't. Take Charlie Chaplin, a man who helped invent modern filmmaking, and yet his star didn't appear here until the 1970s, decades after this sidewalk was already up and running. The reason for this was during the Red Scare, Hollywood wanted nothing to do with him. He was labeled un-American and erased from polite industry conversation. Only years later, when fear gave way to nostalgia, did Hollywood decide it was safe to welcome him back, which tells you something. And then there's Clint Eastwood, who was offered a star and said no. He didn't like the commercialization or the ceremony. So one of the biggest movie stars of the last half century simply opted out. Same goes with Prince, who also doesn't have a star. And other celebrities like Julia Roberts declined to have a star more than once. Then there's the exceptions, and what I think is the most interesting star of them all. The only star that's not on the ground, Muhammad Ali. Now, the reason why Muhammad Ali gets special treatment is because I guess when he agreed to have a star here, he said he didn't want anybody walking on his name. So he's the only person to not actually have a star that's on the sidewalk, but is on a wall, so nobody can step on his name. As you'll notice when you're walking on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, oftentimes you'll see TV shows, cartoon characters, radio stations, along with musicians and other movie stars. What a lot of people don't realize is that you don't have to be a real person to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You can be many things in entertainment besides a real celebrity. Even TV shows, I heard that there's a Star Wars star here somewhere. I haven't seen it. So, not just for real people. Another Scientology building. They're everywhere. Hollywood Boulevard isn't just a list of legends. It's a record of how fast we forget. So many names here I've never even heard of.
$10, one cup dog, one soda, and one chips.
I'll just have a hot dog, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Here you go.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Okay.
So I'm getting kind of hungry, and I just got myself a hot dog, and it has bacon wrapped around it, so you know it's going to be good, because anything with bacon on it tastes amazing. So we're at the cross street of Hollywood and Highland, and this is where it starts to get really crowded. It's a Saturday, so there's quite a bit of people out here today. To be honest, for being rated one of the worst tourist attractions in the world, there's quite a bit of people here.
10 keychains, only 99 cents.
This is so much smaller than all of them.
Hollywood Souvenirs on sale for just $5.
So come and get your Los Angeles or Hollywood hoodies today.
I don't know who's buying these, but I know they exist. This is where memories are manufactured in bulk. You don't find souvenirs on Hollywood Boulevard, they find you. So I see Brea Street up ahead, and this is the last block of the Walk of Fame, and you can see that the crowds are kind of dispersing a little bit, and there's less stars up here. So we're getting to the end now. We made it. We made the entire walk, the 1.3 miles. So is the Hollywood Walk of Fame really the worst tourist attraction in the world? I don't think it's that simple. If you come here expecting glamour and movie magic, you might leave disappointed. But if you come here understanding what this place actually is, it starts to make more sense. This sidewalk isn't a fantasy, it's a record. A public snapshot of fame, ambition, and how quickly the spotlight moves on. Some people will love it, some people won't. And most people will walk away with a mix of both. Hollywood didn't disappear, it just changed. And this is one of the few places where the past is still visible under your feet. So maybe the Walk of Fame isn't the worst tourist attraction in the world. Maybe it's just one that works best when you really know what you're looking at.